It is time for bed. The little bunny yawns. He looks at the moon. Good night, moon. He says to the moon. The bunny lies down on his bed and closes his eyes, but he can't go to sleep. Maybe if he combs and combs and combs, he won't be so sleepy. So he stares and stares and stares at the ceiling until it begins to spin around and around. And finally he feels himself drifting off into dreamland. He combs his hair over and over again, but it just makes him drowsier and drowsier. As he gazes out into the garden, he notices a little mouse scampering around in the grass. The bunny quickly shuts the window, jumps into his chair and pulls out a book. Now is the perfect time for a story. Finally, he drops the comb and goes back to bed. He wants to count the little stars that are twinkling up above him in the night sky. When the bunny wakes up, he walks into the kitchen. It's time for some lunch. He grabs his magnifying glass and examines the crumb closely. That little crumb looks just like a piece of cheese. The bunny continues eating his lunch until there is nothing left on the plate. Then he takes the plate to the sink and washes it clean. The bunny picks up the dish and takes a big bite. He takes a dish from the cupboard, puts some carrots and lettuce on it, and then he sees something. The bunny and the lamb run and play in the fields until the sun begins to set. The bunny and the lamb walk home together. But every time he begins to count them, one little star goes out. And then another one until all of the stars have gone out and it is dark as night. Our little bunny has an idea. He gets out of bed, takes a comb from the dresser and begins brushing his hair with it. Oh, where could that book be? The bunny looks behind the bookcase, under the bookcase, on top of the bookcase, but the book is nowhere to be found. This afternoon, he promised his friend the lamb that he would come over and play. So the bunny puts on his outdoor clothes and runs over to the lamb's house. The bunny picks up the book, thanks the goat for helping him find it, and then he runs all the way home. The bunny asks if he can please come in and look for a book. The goat leads the bunny into the living room. When the bunny wakes up the next morning, he looks over at his bookshelf. So the bunny changes into his outdoor clothes and runs out the door. He looks up at the ceiling. Maybe if he concentrates extra hard on the ceiling, he won't be so sleepy. And tell him all about the wonderful dreams that he had that night. The bunny reads about the little bear, the little squirrel and the little kangaroo. And as he reads these wonderful stories, he remembers something very important. Having a friend to read stories with makes everything much more fun. Thinking of this makes the bunny feel warm and fuzzy inside. We read aloud classic kids' bedtime stories. You can find the full collection of our videos on our channel. Then the two of them curl up together on the couch and take a nap. So the bunny gets out of bed, walks over to the bookshelf, and begins searching for the book. The bunny watches the lamb hop away. Then he turns off the light and gets into bed. The bunny and the lamb both get comfortable in chairs by the bookcase, and the bunny begins reading. The bunny reads about a little squirrel who lost his bushy tail in a boating accident. The bunny reads about a little kangaroo who dreamed of flying all the way to the moon. When the kitten wakes up, he looks around him. Where is the bunny? The kitten jumps off the couch and runs to the window. When the little bunny wakes up, the first thing he sees is the bright shining sun peeping through his window. It's a beautiful day outside. The flowers are blooming, the birds are singing. Our little bunny isn't sleepy anymore. He jumps out of bed and walks over to the window. Who could that be? The bunny opens the door and finds a little kitten sitting on his doorstep. The kitten looks up at the bunny with big innocent eyes. The bunny reads and reads and reads until he hears a knock at the door. The bunny takes the kitten inside, gives him some milk and a saucer of cream. He watches the butterflies fluttering around in the garden and decides he would like to play with them. So the kitten gets a broom and a dustpan and begins sweeping the butterflies into the dustpan. After a while, the butterfly catches one last butterfly and decides that he'd like to take a little nap. So he jumps into the wash bowl, curls up under the faucet and falls fast asleep. In the corner of the dish, there is a tiny little crumb. The bunny gets an idea. But when he does, he tastes nothing but sweet, juicy carrots. As he dries the plate, the bunny remembers something. He hops over to the lamb's house, knocks on the door, and the lamb answers it. When they get to the bunny's house, the lamb asks if he can come inside and read a story. The bunny reads about a little bear who went out into the forest and couldn't find his way back home. Finally, the bunny finishes reading. The lamb thanks the bunny for the wonderful stories, and then the two friends say good night to each other. He looks at the moon. "Good night, moon," he whispers. Then he closes his eyes and drifts off to sleep. That was a great book, he thinks to himself. He wants to reread the story about the little kangaroo who dreamed of flying to the moon. But no matter how hard he tries, he can't find it anywhere. Then the bunny remembers. Yesterday, he was reading the book to his friend, the lamb. Maybe the lamb has the book. He knocks on the door, and this time the goat answers. And when the bunny spots it, oh, there it is on the table. When the bunny gets home, he sits down in his chair and begins reading the book. The most important thing in the whole wide world is friendship. And he knows that tomorrow when he wakes up, the first thing he will do is hop over to the lamb's house. The end. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of our future uploads. Good night, Moon.